So we did have a whole entire episode planned. You'll have to wait until maybe next week for that, because there was a certain something that happened with one of the people in the podcast, a certain something that took the Arknights community by storm that we maybe should address. The whole Box2 situation. Is he quitting? Is he not? Who knows? Maybe. But you're probably all tired of hearing the details of that, so we're going to use that as a springboard into the topic of the responsibilities of an Arknights creator, or responsibilities of a YouTuber in general, but we're all Arknights creators here anyway, so we gotta tie it together some way with Arknights, right?
Yeah, we'll gotta stay on theme even when we really don't.
You've already made your
Wait.
apology video and everything in the future, but
No.
Nice.
Is that hold up? Is that Box2's voice I hear? He's here as well?
What? Where?
Where?
Oh,
What?
Box2
Is it him,
exists?
the one and
What?
only?
What?
You are gonna
Wait,
be perfect for our topic today.
whoa, how did I get in
Yo.
there?
yes,
I don't know. Did someone leave the door open?
I think Box has learned a few lessons in regarding to the responsibility of an Arknights of a content creator to its viewers and to the community.
Dio, even if he didn't, we're gonna make sure that he gets it in his head through this podcast.
Hopefully, maybe we'll see if he's learned his lesson.
All right, so one message I would like to leave for future me and future viewers, because this is, I assume, going to be posted next week or 2 weeks.
So
after?
you better make sure that it will stay immortalized here. 'cause
Yes.
If not, we're gonna edit this out for you.
All right, so guys, today or yesterday when I posted that video, I was feeling real good at myself. I was like, yes, a funny man Box2, you must get all the bitches. And then when I woke up today, my first thought was, fuck, that was a stupid idea. And I checked, and then I checked my comments. I was like, oh, fuck, this is a super stupid idea. And then I spent the rest of the day talking to people, asking for advice, because I am honestly scared to do, like, what to do next. Right now, I'm scared to see what's going to happen in the future. I don't know what's going to happen. Are they going to forgive me? Are they not going to forgive me? Should I play specialist? Should I not play specialist? So today, these 3 content creators are going to shape me and yell at me and tell me what I did wrong.
I mean,
we're about to maul a child.
Jesus. I think the main thing, and this has not just influence on the YouTube sphere, but outside of it, as we saw with a certain Smith man and a certain Hart man recently in the news. When a joke goes too far, this is like a really nebulous question, but when a joke goes too far, do you think that it is the responsibility of the jokester, as it were, or comedian, to apologize, or do you think that comedy is above that in general? And what I mean, you're never going to know the line. Obviously, this is like a really nebulous question for a Arknights podcast, but I'm curious.
Wait, so the question was, should comedians take responsibility if they, or like anyone who makes a joke, take responsibility if they realize they cross a line?
Yes.
I mean, now the timing of the podcast is perfect, right? We all know that clip that appeared that has probably maybe 100 million of views now of Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. And yeah, I mean, it was an amazing video where Chris Rock took it to the face and he made sure that he stood as a man there. But after the situation,
Chris Rock like a fucking Chad. Like,
yeah.
holy shit.
Hope that's what happens to me. I just get slapped and then like that's it. We're done.
But if you get slapped, you can't behave like Chris Rock. You should like fall to the ground and like start wailing like, oh my god, my face hurts and all that kind.
Take my responsibility. Fuck.
Exactly. But Chris Rock, made the joke about Will Smith's wife there, and then he made an apology statement afterwards. He took to online, and he wrote that he felt like, as his role as a comedian, it's his job to see where he crosses the line, and he kind of realized that he didn't, because this was like a hurt to the friendship that he had with Will Smith. So I feel that, in a sense, yes, comedians do have a responsibility. They need to know the boundaries of jokes per se. How can you make jokes that, well, you're not gonna not affect anyone. You're bound to get one person to just say, hey, why do you offend me in some way? But what's the best way that you can do things that, doesn't get the entire world hating at you? It's one thing when you get like, I don't know, 2 haters out of your 100,000 viewers. And then it's another story if you tell me 50,000 of your 100,000 viewers getting angry at you. You know, you can't be a YouTuber that goes telling people why is the world hating me when literally more than half of the viewers are getting angry at you. Clearly, the problem is not on the viewers. The problem is, I don't know if you guys get where I'm going, but yes, I'm referring to someone, not in this call, of course. I'm referring to someone famous. Let's not drop names.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yes. Not yet, at least. Um, so as the pseudo moderator, I ask these questions to pose the question, not so much because I believe in the thing that I'm posing. So I do think that if you cross a certain line and you don't mean to, specifically when you don't mean to cross that line, you should back off and go, okay, I've made a mistake. I think this is like the eternal problem though, where with comedy the line is like ever shifting on the topic given what the time, like no one knows where the line on any given topic is until you cross it. Very rarely do you actually ever know when you've crossed the line, and a lot of the best comedy is right at that line. Like maybe the one video is fine, maybe the 2 videos fine, but 3 videos is definitely too far, right? Like don't make a 3rd video saying you're quitting. That's probably too far.
It's
Oh, it's
not.
gonna be a 4th one now. You know, he's gonna
Yes,
make it
it's literally. It has to be a 4th one. The 4th one's gonna be the apology, and people won't know if it's gonna be genuine or not.
Hey, Box, do you know what do they call like 3 videos in succession?
3 videos.
You know what's it called? No.
That's a bowling term. Never mind. Ignore my dumb joke.
No, you know like how there's 3 movies, 3 seasons. You know what's the word that they
Trilogy,
use?
yeah.
Yes, it's called trilogy. Have you heard of that, Box 2?
Oh, I always thought that meant trailer.
What?
Okay, you know what? Okay, yes, I know.
Okay, but you know the word trilogy exists to explain 3 videos in succession. If you make a 4th video about this situation, you know there's no words to describe it.
Hilarious.
You're saying what I'm doing right now has no word for it.
That was sorry. That was a added meaning.
I mean, let's see. Personally, I think Vox, the double dipping might have been a bit too far. If you meant to do it, then fine, sure, but like, damn.
No, and this is kind of weird because we are recording this before. We are recording this in the middle of the controversy, as it were. So there are certain videos, such as the apology video, that have not actually been recorded at this time, but we are assuming that you have already seen those because these videos get recorded way earlier than we post them.
We also assume that Box will do it.
Yeah, true. We also assume that Box will actually make an apology
We
video.
might just be recording this whole
Yeah.
thing, and then Box just tells us tomorrow that he actually means it, and then he leaves YouTube. So it's
No,
gonna be a freaking. It's gonna be a wild ride if people watch this episode.
Yes. But given all of that, oh fuck, I forgot where I was going with this. Hold on. Comedy. Oh, okay. Backing up. But if you notice, a lot of almost no comedians have gone out their whole entire career without ever getting canceled. Most of them, as I said, skirt that line, and most of them at some point will step over that line. And in today's culture of cancel culture and Twitter, a lot of that is brought up even now, right? Like you'll see comedians like James Gunn who have apologized for the things that they've said multiple times, and they still get that brought up over and over and over again because it seems like on the internet, once something happens to you now, once you do something, that's the internet never forgets and never forgives, and even if you make a noticeable attempt to change, if people don't like you, they will hold that over your head forever, which is rough. But this is a really heavy topic to get into for the Gacha Gear podcast. To move away a little bit from this, well, instead of a joke, moving over to a more malicious term, misinformation. When it comes to misinformation, and when it comes to opinions versus facts, again, I'm tiptoeing around a certain name that we may or may not want to name. That was in the arknights community for a long time. What are your thoughts on the responsibility of an arknights a content creator in general when it comes to misinformation. And also not just misinformation, but opinion-based misinformation.
Box, how about you begin?
So I think how do I say this? Okay, first of all, everyone knows, or I hope everyone knows, that I did not mean to cause all this controversy. This info. I
don't know if
swear.
that was connected to the question, but go on.
Oh, it's not. Oh, I'm just real stupid then.
Continue.
I did not know it would blow up that much. Okay. I did not know that this would cause so much talk. I thought it was just a wait. Did I say this already?
Oh yeah, this episode's a real mess. I love it.
Oh shit!
yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry. I'm
it's
fucking
completely fucking fucked.
So, anyways, misinformation is bad, and you shouldn't. Well, you shouldn't do it if you're a content creator.
Well, I think that some level of misinformation is impossible, the same way that like it's nearly impossible to never step over a line as a comedian. So eventually, like I've even had misinformation. I am fake news. I think that in my Balance and Arknights video, I said that Hypergriff has never buffed characters before, which was just false. They had buffed Nightmare and someone else. I don't remember who else, but they had buffed Nightmare when I made that video. And so I made the pinned comment saying that, hey, I'm fake news. Hypergriff does actually buff things, and I'm dumb.
I mean, I've made it's for people to realize I've said wrong info in my video. It's not too severe. If it's very severe, I'll make a whole post about it. But sometimes I can say like a certain statement wrong. Maybe I say the wrong skill when I was explaining and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's fine to make something like that. But maybe we go into the whole idea of what if we're talking like severe misinformation. Everything in the video was a rust.
Well,
How about that?
Yeah, well, it's almost impossible to dance around the topic entirely, but I shall name the Arknights Voldemort, as it were.
Tectone?
Yes, Tectone. I don't want to make.
I did it first before you.
Yeah, I don't want to make this whole entire podcast about Tectone because I feel like he is toxic to mention, because a lot of the time when you mention him, there's a whole bunch of baggage to get involved with, and I honestly just don't want to get involved in all of that. But what I find more fascinating is the topic of what happens when you have quote unquote misinformation that is just your opinions. So one of the Tectone dramas when he was still in the Arknights community was that he said that like X operator was really good or X operator was really bad, but then stated that was just his opinion. Would you consider that misinformation to say like, oh, if I made a video saying I actually think that Mastema is actually really good and you all are just using her wrong, is that misinformation or is that just my opinion?
I heard someone say no.
Yeah, Box.
Yeah, no,
No,
because
I
like
think
that. If you're saying it's just your opinion, it's like, yeah, that's just he's explaining why he thinks it's good. So to see if people like because I was, or I actually, what I still really do like Tectone, and I think a lot of people watch him because of his opinions. Has he ever like whatchamacallit, backed up one of his opinions as like a fact when people are like trying to
Yes and
He
no.
does double down
Yes and no.
if you disagree with him.
A lot of the time he'll do this thing where he kind of doubles down, where like if somebody disagrees with him and or says like, well, actually no, province isn't that bad or something like that, he will say, well, it's just my opinion and I still think that I'm right. Where like he kind of doubles down, but he does most of the time clearly state that it is just his opinion that he thinks that X operator is good or X operator is bad. So like, yesn't. I don't think he ever tries to like full on display his opinions as fact. I don't remember a lot of his videos, to be fair, but I think that's true. Oh god, we're being favorable to Tectone. That means we're gonna get canceled. Box is gonna get canceled a second time.
I feel like the thing here is that he doesn't say what I'm saying is a fact. It's more like the way that he says it will give a lot of people the impression.
Yeah,
so
it's the way he says
when you
it.
tell him, when you tell him he's wrong and he goes out of his ways to prove his opinion, it's already making it come out to be as if hey, his view is bigger, and his view, he say he's right, so I should listen to him. And I think it would have been fine if he set it off and say, this is my opinion. But a lot of time he doesn't do that. He doesn't put that bar in his videos to say whatever I'm going to tell you guys is a opinionated piece. This is just my own judgment. I didn't do a whole lot of research. I didn't do extensive testing on this thing to then share with you guys whatever I'm telling you today. So that is one of the trouble. And I didn't have this view before, but I had quite a few comments who actually explained to me why they felt cheated by his views at times in the past. So he goes around telling people that he feels that the things he says are correct and all. And sometimes he will make the excuse that all the while his videos have been his opinions. But then people then say, if these are his opinions, why does he title his video as if he's going to tell people extremely crucial info? So, for example, if he's going to do a guide, it literally says guide or how to do this operator. People are coming in with the impression they're about to hear really good, guidance,
Analysis.
tips, instructions,
okay.
analysis. But then the video is simply just him just saying whatever he thinks is good. And there isn't a proper breakdown of the matter. So that's when people say, you can't go playing with people like that. However, I would then argue on his stance that I see whatever he does as, yes, I get that he's doing his opinion. I'm not like the viewers who sees through his titling and judge that. And at the same time, I see as the way he does things is going to get him views. It's easy. When you get an eye-catching topic, you make your titles, you make your thumbnails as if what people want to see the most. It will benefit you, but it doesn't really authenticate whether the information is true or not.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on one sec. So I think the reason why he did that is because I used to watch a lot of his streams, his VODs and stuff like that. So I can't really speak for him, but I think the reason why he did that was, yes, to get views, because back then he was really he was broke and shit like that. So he really wanted to make YouTube his job too. So he tried his best to pump out many videos and eye-catching videos, get views, and he was all about analytics.
I think that the thing I most strongly agree on here, Cookie, was something that you had mentioned. It's the way that he says a lot of things. I'm not a
Yeah.
Tectone fan. And that's not. I'm not saying that I have anything against the guy. I don't know the guy.
I am though,
Um,
even though I'm against the way he presents, but I am. I watched him a lot last time.
I just don't watch him that much. It just is what it is. And the main thing for me is that I always felt like it's more the way he says things and the way he comes off to people, where if I have to try to put myself in his shoes a lot of the time from everything that I've seen from him, where it's if I was making the kind of content that he was, I would be much more toned back and going, hey, oh actually no, I do have hot takes, right? I've had hot takes about I think that Chen Ultra's design is good, or I think that Manticore's design is shit, and a lot of people don't agree with me on those takes. But in either of those scenarios, I go, I think Manticore's design isn't very good. But that's just my opinion. Feel free to disagree with me. It's subjective as hell. I don't try to at all play it off as this is my an actual strong analysis and I'm right. It's my way or the highway, right? I am fully upfront with the fact that this is my opinion, and I will defend my opinion while still saying it is an opinion, which is what I feel like the vibe or personality that him, or there are a couple of the content creators, not in the Arknight sphere, but in general, that I feel like they have this problem a lot of the time where when confronted with the fact that you're wrong, you can get very heated and kind of dig your heels in and go, no, I'm 100% right. And that is only ever going to lead to more confrontation. It's not just a content creator thing, it's a human thing.
It is a human thing, yeah. But I mean, when we argue with someone, we feel the need to argue back and put forth we are the righter person. Although I was just wondering, is that really a lot of creators? There are some. I don't think there's a huge lot of YouTubers. There's so many more YouTubers out there who's very apologetic over everything that they do.
Well, a lot of a lot of YouTubers will base their channels on rage marketing, right? Or not, I shouldn't say a lot of them, but a decent amount of them will, where they being loud and being confrontational is seen as charismatic. And that is something that will get a lot of views rather than being very muted and very introspective. This is a fact of life. Extroverts tend to attract people to them because that's just the way that life works. And especially on the internet, where a lot of introverts can look up to extroverts for being able to be very loud and be very outgoing. That's something to be seen as something to be something to aspire to, almost. Especially when
Introverts look up to extroverts.
I feel like there's this might be, I might be projecting here. Fair enough, but I feel like there is a social expectation to be some level of extrovert, right? I feel like there's some level of social expectation that going outside and having friends is somewhat expected of a normal adult. And so when you are not doing that, you can feel as if you're not meeting that societal expectation. Like if you spend all day inside, only maybe talking to strangers on Discord, society as a whole will view you weirdly, at the very least, because society as a whole is not doing what you were doing.
It's a societal expectation,
Yes,
so
it's
people
yep.
will feel like they need to. But
Yes.
personally, there will be some that just don't really care.
No,
And they'll be like,
definitely. I mean,
whatever.
on a personal, I don't really care either. Like, but
Yeah.
I do know people who are like that and who do care, who are introverts and they want to be more extroverted, not because they actually want to meet people, but just because they feel like that's something that they have to do. And so I assume that those kind of people would look up to someone like Tectone, who's very like outgoing and very energetic, very outspoken, and to some level very confrontational. I feel like confrontational is the main word that I'd use for him. He does not back down for a fight, and he said as much before. And it is what it is.
For sure. So that's the part on people who.
Yeah.
Sorry, continue.
Sorry. Well, to move it back to the original topic, though, is there anything wrong with me? Do any of you think that there would be anything wrong with me stating like a very strong like opinion about like a tier list that most people wouldn't agree with, right? So like, I have a person in my
Tier
Discord.
lists.
Well, that most people wouldn't agree with about. So I have a person in my Discord, for example, who swears to me that Ak is actually really good. You know who you are. And
He's gonna watch this video.
Probably.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Is one of my consistent viewers. So they swear to me that Ak is actually really good. And so like let's say that like I as a content creator go out and say, no, actually Ak is actually really good, and here's my 15-minute essay on why Ak is good. But that's just my opinion, and I'm not as confrontational as someone like Tectone is. Is that okay, or do you feel like okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh damn, we all agree. Where's the
God
content?
damn, God damn.
No, wait, are we agreeing to what again? Because my mom just spoke to me.
Oh, if I'm less confrontational about it, but like let's say that like I have a really hot take, like I say that Ak is one of the best operators, and I make like a 15-minute video on explaining why Ak is the best operator.
Okay.
But I'm not really confrontational about it, and I say like one or two times, hey, this is just my opinion. Is that like fine? Is that not misinformation?
I don't see how that's not fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if
Wait,
people okay, you start by saying it's your opinion, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, people are going to start the video with that impression.
Now, what if I
And
clickbait
if they
it, though?
don't like your opinion,
Oh, what if you?
I mean, it's fine. You clickbait it, and then you start off by saying, okay, guys, I'm going to give you guys my own anecdote of my whole story of Ark, okay, and why he's so good in my eyes. If people don't like it, they'll just click away.
Yeah.
Because you already set the bench sign that this is what you're going to do. But if you start off by saying, I'm going to give you guys this in-depth analysis of why Ark is good, and then rather than it being unbiased, it's full of biased opinions.
Yeah, I think it's the way
not
you
really right.
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
the way
Fox?
you like present it. If that like makes any sense. If you say you're gonna give like all the shit and you do like give your opinion.
We all agree.
You'll agree.
Yeah.
Actually, there is another thing I wanted to touch on in the whole like YouTube responsibility that I think would have more juice on it, as it were.
All right.
What do you think is a YouTuber's responsibility towards their viewers? How much do you think they owe their viewers?
Oh no, I'm gonna get canceled as hell. All right,
No, yeah,
someone else start
I've
out.
heard it.
Oh,
Yeah, we've heard it. Everyone here's heard his opinion.
Someone else start out. I'm gonna go get some alcohol before I mention
I
mine.
do think it is like an elementary like part of the whole YouTube responsibility, conversation.
like what should they do for their viewers?
So yeah,
Yeah, what in general? Yeah, what responsibility do content creators
Okay.
have for the viewers?
Okay. How about I start with we will come back to this. I just want to open up with a more helpful question. Is YouTube a job?
Depends.
Depends on how successful you are. If
Depends
you
on
can
how much
like,
you want.
if
Okay,
you can
but it can be a
actually-
job, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it can
definitely
be.
a
Yes.
job.
So, if it can be a job, what is the job?
Content
You're an
creation.
entertainer.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, the whole thing is to entertain. So I think that's the thing. It's either to inform or to entertain on this space. Although more often informations get embedded with entertainment. That's how YouTubers get so successful nowadays. So I think that's the baseline of what YouTubers should do. You know, they're there to entertain their viewers, to offer a part of themselves, to get them to laugh, to get them to feel like they're spending a good time. So basically provide quality content. Although to me, this kind of baseline is going to vary from YouTuber to YouTuber. There are some that don't really give a shit, and there are some that do. And there are some that will say, I got to build a community with my viewers, and there are others who don't really give a damn. So when I approach that question of should, like, do YouTubers have a responsibility for their viewers? It depends. It depends on what they want to do.
I mean,
Although the
don't-
baseline is
I
there,
don't
they gotta
think
entertain.
that your opinion, not your opinion, Cookie, but like in general, I don't think a person's opinion is really relevant to that question, because no matter if you think you're indebted or not to your viewers, well, you're doing the same thing as someone that thinks the opposite. So it's like, what sort of objectivity is there? How indebted is a content creator to their viewers, no matter what they think?
Well, I think Cookie's point was that if you're trying to take YouTube as a job, then you're going to have more responsibility towards your viewers than someone who is just doing it in their spare time. So
Right,
the
right.
yeah, you have a responsibility to possibly like set up monetization things like a Patreon or something like that. And also specifically, if you're setting up like a Patreon, that's an entirely different ballgame. Because if you're setting up like a Patreon, that means that there are people paying to you every single month for your content creation. And so if you just suddenly stop and that Patreon continues, well, then there is a promise that is theoretically broken there.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't quite look at it from the whole like, oh, if you're not taking YouTube as a job, because if you're not taking YouTube as a job, you don't owe anyone anything. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. If you're just doing you don't owe people stuff simply because you decided on your free time to make a video, But if you are taking YouTube as a job, that is my.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, no, you can go first,
Uh,
Box.
Okay. So I actually think that it depends on what kind of content you're making. If you're making it depends on how hard you're working. Because I always because how do you say this? The harder you work, I think the more views you deserve. Because my logic is hard work in life equals you get more from that. So in my case, I think I owe my fans quite a lot because they're willing to watch a shit I can cook up in like 2 seconds, and I'm super fucking grateful.
Guys,
for that.
he's reflecting.
Fuck you.
Continue.
He's adapting.
He's adapting. So yeah, I feel like it does depend on how much work you put into the content, how much you owe your fans. Because if you work really hard, you do deserve that, and like it's like a mutual transaction. But if you work like 2 seconds, like sometimes I do on a video, I owe my fans quite a lot because I feel like I got lucky.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I guess I should say before I pose a question to Squirrel specifically. I guess I'll make my statement here. I'm gonna sound. I always sound like a sociopath when I say this, but I view, and this isn't just the way I viewed my own art. Even as a viewer of other people's art, I view it this way, where I view it as kind of a transaction. Where if an artist makes a piece of work, then they don't owe the viewers of that work anything more than the work, because let's say I make the work and then you consume the content, and that was the transaction. What do you get out of this? You get the artwork, right? And what do I get out of this? I get views. So this is a two-way transaction, and both of us are benefiting. And so why does one of us owe anything? Why does one of us owe more than that? And I got into an interesting conversation with a friend of mine a while ago. He's a writer, and he had the opinion that if an if a writer specifically stops a trilogy halfway through, then that's bad, because then the writer owes it to their audience to finish the trilogy. So if you're 2 books into a trilogy, but then you just say, like, as a writer, you really don't want, you're like you completely uninterested and you want to move on into other things, you still have a responsibility to your fans to finish that trilogy. What are your thoughts on that?
I do understand it somewhat. I'm probably not fully on board with that because, of course, like, people, like, there may be circumstances that will stop you from doing something, you know? And at that point, the circumstances come first. I don't think that,
バカみたい子供なのね
You cut out for a second, Skorak, so could you start over?
I'm saying, like, I don't agree wholeheartedly, but I definitely understand that point. I think that you do have some sort of responsibility when you make something and people, I guess, people find it worthwhile enough to let you live off of it, because that is something they didn't need to do. You know, it's something that they went, like, beyond to, like, do, because they think that what you're doing is worthwhile in some way, and that's not a guarantee, you know. I don't think you're totally indebted to them, because at the end of the day, you know, you're doing something and you're putting in your own work and effort. But I think it's some sort of, like, balance that has to be reached. You are indebted to them and you have to respect them and the time and money they put towards what is essentially you know, because that is an investment they made to you, I guess, because they hope that what you're going to produce is going to be something,
Well,
I guess, cool or
yeah,
worthwhile.
the way I phrased it to my friend was that I think that you should respect your audience and respect your viewers, but I don't think that you even if you're living off of it, I don't think that you necessarily have a responsibility towards
You know
it.
what? Yeah, I do, because, like, how do you say this, man? Actually, wait, let me think. You guys go first.
Because so if someone donates in a Twitch chat, then they're doing that because they like that content, and they're saying, here's it, you did a good job, I like your content, here is X amount of money, right? And so they're paying to see the content that you are in, if it's a Twitch stream watching, or if it's like a membership, if they like click sub or click membership on a video, they're going, oh, I like this, I am willing to pay because I liked this so much. So again, I respect all of my audience, and to some extent, I quote unquote love them as much as I parasocially love them as much as I can. Watch Pokemon streams in my Discord with me. Anyway, but I don't necessarily feel like I have a responsibility to continue to upload, especially because for me personally, this is not my full-time job. This is a hobby. So.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, if it's a hobby, as I said before, I think you can do whatever the fuck you want. You know,
Yeah.
if this is something you do in your free time, I am fully in the camp that you provided entertainment and, like, you did something for yourself and for them, you know, and I feel like that's reward enough. If you just stop doing it, you know, you can stop. Nobody owes you anything, you know?
The trilogy
They
question is
stop.
interesting though.
Yeah, they stop paying for it, and then, like, you stop doing it. So I feel like it's
Yes, exactly. That's why I said both people are benefiting from this. Both the viewer and the creator benefit from this two-way transaction. Like, no one's losing here, right? And so I don't think that one party owes more to the other party, because both parties are just fine, right? Like, both parties get something out of it. But the trilogy example is a little interesting though. Like, if you start like a YouTube, so for example, this podcast,
True, yeah.
if one of us randomly decided that they didn't want to be a part of this podcast and then dissolved because
Oh
of
man,
that. No,
that would be a dick move.
wild
No way.
speculation here, but
That would be a dick move.
so what do if you started something, right? If you started like a series, or in this case, a trilogy, with the trilogy example is a little more damning because you're supposed to have a set end, where the podcast is kind of like nebulous; it just keeps going until it doesn't. Do you have a responsibility to finish that thing that you set out to finish?
Hmm.
Do
I
you have?
think
I think. Do you have? Depends on the individual to feel whether or not they have that responsibility.
I do feel that is a personal burden, although there is a bit of a spanner in the works, which is like if you set out to make a trilogy and people paid for your first book, at that point they don't pay like simply for the book; they also pay
No,
for the
that's
promise of the other two
well,
books.
in a similar scenario though, right? You could say that somebody giving you a donation on your Twitch channel is not just paying for that content; they're paying for the continuation of that content. I think this is a
Oh,
really
you're not wrong.
fascinating
Yes,
question.
yes.
Yeah, I think this
No,
is a
no.
very
I think
fascinating
you're right.
question.
No,
Well,
and the whole idea of the trilogy thing, yeah, you reminded me of certain stuff. About the idea of the author being indebted. You remind me that Hunter x Hunter, one of my favorite anime, and I also read the manga.
I
The
love that.
manga stopped in a really awkward position. Like it's actually not finished,
yep. Yeah.
but the author didn't finish, continue, and also didn't say that it was going to end at where it was because clearly it was like it was going to continue. Well, circumstances happen. Actually, the author is having bad health. So, and it's been that way for years. Thankfully, still alive, I think, at the current state. But yeah, so I feel that when it comes to circumstances, whether it's real life and things like that, that should come first. And the additional point on the trilogy is I did a trilogy in my channel. I did a trilogy for a video where I wanted to talk about limited banners. So I spent 3 videos to talk about limited banners. I think they total up to about 2 hours watch time. Like the first video was like 20 minutes, the second was 40, and then the last one was like 40 minutes. But I can tell you, I've uploaded the first 2 really quickly because I had an idea of what to say. But then I didn't know how I was going to conclude. I didn't know how I was going to do a big bang on the last one since it was the closure of the whole thing. And I was so stressed out in making the video. Like it hurt me mentally, emotionally, everything. But in me, I felt like I started this, I cannot drop it. I feel horrible stopping something at wherever it is, even if like I feel the pain. So it was that sort of idea that I had to tell myself to motivate and just do it since I have to do it. Just to answer the trilogy part. Like I feel for people who start something, says there's an end point, they gotta see the end.
Yeah, that's why I feel it really depends on like the person's situation. If you're just like not doing it because you're lazy as hell, then kind of a dick. And then like if you're not doing it because like you kind of can, then well, like that's justified.
Well, here's a hot topic on the YouTube sphere in general, though: motivation, right? So laziness versus motivation can be a gray area of hell. So if you don't have, so if you have to force yourself to make that final part of the trilogy, would it just be better if you just hadn't done it, right? If because of the
you're not wrong.
expectation, if you force it and then fuck it up and then it's bad because you didn't want to make it, because you didn't have the motivation, your heart wasn't in it, then maybe you shouldn't have just made it in the first place, right? That's the true question, right?
No, you're not wrong. That's why I took a long pause because I think the trouble here is that like if I did it on the whim and say I'm finishing this just to finish, I could just make a very lackluster video, not produce things I want, get some wrong info in and all that sort of stuff. So it was really a matter of acting with it and saying, okay, this thing is pulling me down, but is there something else I can think of to make myself feel better? So that was like a thing that I had to go for. I feel like my time in YouTube, I went through roller coasters of figuring out what I'm doing. Yeah. So yes, there's the whole idea that it undermines quality, but I make sure to do the balancing act where I don't do that.
Yeah, I love these topics, by the way. These are like the weird philosophy-esque topics that I specialize in. Does an author have a moral have a moral responsibility? Sorry, I can't speak. No. It's supposed to be my comfort zone. Does an author have a moral responsibility to finish a trilogy? It's like, what the fuck?
That backfired on you.
That is
Yeah, it
a
did.
very that is a very interesting topic to me because I feel like I am so um unqualified to actually have this discussion.
Mm.
Because
Why so?
I cannot relate to it at all. Like the whole laziness versus motivation thing is kind of weird to me because so you know how a lot of people have like writer's block, right?
Yeah.
I don't have that. I can push through and my work will generally be on a similar level. I don't know why, I don't know how, but like a lot of times, whether I am passionate about something or I am not, the work comes out like I have a standard that I never like go below. So for me, it's just a natural state because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a lazy person in general. It is just a natural state to just push through and do stuff. You know?
Well, I think that might, yeah, you might just be blessed because I will tell you right now, as a person who has made many bad essays in college, many bad. I'm so sorry, my professors. There's a markable difference in the way that I write things that I'm passionate about versus the way that I write things that I'm not. If I'm passionate about something, I hope, even though my voice can sometimes sound dead inside of my videos, that it comes through with the level of detail in my videos. But when I'm not very passionate about something, I write it very clinically, or like very cold. And I feel like I can feel that even when I go back and watch those videos. Or I say those videos, but anything that's uploaded onto my channel, I mainly am very passionate about because I have very high standards, which is why I don't upload that much.
Yeah, like,
I mean-
I understand the like. I know that that's a thing because, like, you know, I really wanted to like before I wanted to become a YouTuber, and I still do. I want to be like a writer or a or do scripts for like a comic or something. That's like that is my big dream. And like I know about writer's block. I know it exists. I know about burnout. I know all of that. I just like it's really fascinating to me because I don't know how it works because I've never like experienced it.
Well, in the same way, with any, because writer block is a mental thing, I can't explain to you what depression feels like unless you've been through it. It's impossible, right? It's like trying to explain the color blue to a blind person. It's just one of those things where because you can never truly be in someone else's mind, I cannot explain to you what writer's block is like. I cannot explain to you what the color blue is like. None of you can describe to me what the color red or green are like. I'm red, green, colorblind. There's a random factoid about me. So,
Ew, kind of looks like a tomato.
so
Please try.
thank you. Wonderful. Well, and the insights on a colorblind person, insights from a colorblind person. Are any of you colorblind?
No.
No.
I think it's very funny because that's the literal statistic. I think it's 1 in 4. I think it's 1 in 4 men are red and colorblind. Anyway.
Oh wow.
Very funny. If that stat is right, very funny. I can see red and green when they're by themselves, so I know what they look like in theory. The problem is that when they are anywhere near each other, they blend together into one color, and I can't see the difference. That's why if you look at the colorblind test, if you've ever seen those before, where there's just a whole bunch of dots that are next to each other, if they're red and green and they're dots that are right next to each other, I just can't tell the difference. It just looks like one big circle to me.
Oh damn.
That's how it works, huh?
Interesting.
Yes.
So in a vacuum, red and
ダメだねダメよダメなのよ
does red and green do you look like different colors isolated, but when they're together they look the same?
Yes, actually.
So they don't have the same hue when they're different, like when you're like just seeing red or just seeing green.
Yes.
You can see the difference. You just can't see it when they're together.
Yes.
That's fascinating.
Yes, unironically, yes. This is how I view the world. So like grass and a
Humans
tomato.
are fascinating.
Yes, grass and a tomato look differently, and I can know that they look different when they're next to each other. But if you put the tomato in the grass, they blend together.
Oh.
I don't know why it works that way. It just does. That's
Wow.
just how. Yeah, it just is what it is. And so, like, me describing that to you is very difficult. And if I were to try to describe you the color that they look like when they're blended together, it's impossible. I can't. I literally can. I see a color that none of you else can see, and I can't describe it to you. It's like, well, imagine red and imagine green, but mix them together, but they're kind of still the same. There you go. Fuck, I proved
Like
myself wrong.
spinach.
Yeah, like spinach. Yeah, like spinach with
I,
some
I,
hot
I
sauce.
still can picture it. Spinach
Oh,
with some
yeah, I
hot
get
sauce.
that makes sense.
So, I think we all agree on this, which is funny enough. To move it to a fact, we touched on this topic a little bit, and I just want to ask you guys, low key, thumbnails. I'm just
Well, about
curious.
the-
I'm just curious. So, like, let's do some like back end YouTube talk here. How much time do you guys spend on your thumbnails?
I don't make them.
Oh, you don't make them, huh?
Ah, damn. Okay.
Yeah, I am also in the don't make them club.
All right,
I
Box.
direct them. I direct them from now and again, but Roxy makes them most of the time.
No, but my thumbnail makers take a span of 5 minutes to 1 hour to make.
Yeah,
the
no,
thumbnail.
it's weird. Me too, because like sometimes they'll just range from literally
Okay.
2 seconds to
What
like
are your
maybe
thumbnails?
hours sometimes.
Let's see. I'm gonna.
Yeah, sometimes
I
it's
mean,
just like a black
No,
screen
my
and then like some
most
words.
recent video of me pulling Blemishine is literally just me taking the skin of Blemishine and slapping it as a thumbnail.
Yeah, I see that.
But then for
Uh,
the other thumbnails, some of them are even more dedicated. So yeah, it varies.
It
I
really
was
does.
I was just curious because I spent I'm not gonna lie to you. There are actually this can be a question, a backend question. What are the parts of creation of YouTube creation that you like the most and that you hate the most? Because I will not lie to you. When I finish editing, I feel like I'm done with the video, and then anything that's after that, I despise it. So like when I finish editing and I render the video, I'm like, oh thank God I'm done. And then I sit there and I pause for a second and I go, I have to make a fucking thumbnail on YouTube title, don't I?
What? I
God
feel like
damn
making
it.
the thumbnail is the fun part.
I hate it so much because I feel
No,
like I'm
I
done
don't
with
like
the
it as well.
project. I feel like I'm
Yeah,
done
no.
with the project.
I can't make a thumbnail. I have nothing for design.
I would say for me, favorite part is probably. Okay, that's gonna sound like. So does it have to be in the video making process or in general about being like
In general.
content creator?
Just in general.
Okay, so about being a content creator, it's definitely the I don't know if I should call it like networking, but it's like talking to people and like I don't know, I like this sort of like social like and you know
You like being in the
real
room where it happens.
yeah, I like doing like I guess, yeah. Sorry, what does that mean? I am
Sorry, that's a
Greek.
Hamilton reference. That's a Hamilton reference. I don't unless you're a nerd like me. You like being in you like meeting new people and meeting new communities.
Yeah. That is like the biggest thing. Like I do like all the like the social aspects and like talking with people and like planning stuff and all of that. Like that's my favorite part. Second is writing, and least favorite part is I don't know actually. Uh, hmm.
Just love YouTube so much you don't hate anything about it.
The problem is that I'm not really like. Maybe I would hate the technical stuff, like editing, but I'm not the one that does them, so I cannot like I cannot like comment on them.
I love
Maybe I'll
editing.
comment them later on.
I love it.
Maybe
I've thought about just like no, hey, if I disappear one, guys, I went out to go get milk. Anyway, I've thought about just like scrapping my own channel and then just becoming an editor because I've realized that I love editing. Editing's so fun. Editing's so cool.
I mean,
What?
hey, if I ever become big enough, I mean, I would legit pay you. Your editing is fucking amazing.
No,
I'm on the side to say that yes, I edit my videos. I do have some people editing for me sometimes. I don't like editing.
No, I think it depends because if I'm very passionate about a project, I will edit it very good and like
No, like I'm always very passionate about anything that I do, like in my videos, but I have the idea in my head and I need a lot of willpower to make myself do the editing.
no, yeah,
Well,
because
Like
if it's something boring like adding subtitles, I'm like, yeah, fuck this shit. And then if it's something like, I don't know if you guys seen my I think it was Arknights nostalgia video.
yes,
That shit,
yeah.
I was super passionate about that. I spent a long fucking time. I think I stayed up 8 hours straight, just like getting frame perfect
Mhm.
song
and
drops.
sometimes
into
it
video.
depends on the editing intensity as well, like what you're
Oh god
doing.
damn it!
So
You brought
for
that up, and I wanted to Google it,
what?
and you unlisted your videos. God fucking damn it, Box!
Oh my god, Vox.
God,
It's
Yeah, but
fucking. I love that fucking video, Box. How dare
I
you?
love that. I think that was my most passionate video I've ever made in my channel because I really did like it was all my emotions put into like the community.
in
And
that day his heart was present. So we question whether his heart is
And
pressing
then the
to him.
Grinch's heart shrank 3 sizes. And
Yes.
anyway,
No,
the
no, but I was referring to editing intensity. I make some documentaries at times, like long discussion videos, and those are hell for me to edit because I have to put a lot of clips, my voice over, and then I have to put extra images and everything. I remember that I made a video as to why should people play arknights, like how you did, Leo.
yes,
I don't know
yeah.
how long you took. I edited my one, like that one on my own. I took 3 weeks.
Oh
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
oh yeah, oh yeah. No, because the well, that's the other half of the reason why I don't upload a lot. Is because not only do I have high standards, but also my shit just takes a long time because I like editing. That's the part of content creation that I perhaps like the most, and that probably shows in my videos. But because so a lot of my videos will take quite a long time. The longest it's ever taken from start to finish was the visual novel video that I did, and that did take me 3 weeks. A lot of that wasn't just editing though. A lot of that was like research and me trying to figure out. A lot of that was research and writing because researching that topic was difficult as hell. But yeah, no, the editing does just take a long time. I agree with you, Cookie. I don't even know how long your video ended up being, but mine was only 16 minutes long and it took me 3 weeks.
Mine was 19 minutes long.
Mhm.
It's
I
about
feel
the
like
same.
that is kind of what keeps you, because I've tried editing before, you know. I think that's what, and I don't think I'd like it, you know. I haven't been with it long enough to form an opinion, but I don't think I would like editing, and I think that's because I don't have a lot of patience, you know. Like when something takes too long and I don't see a significant, like, you know, change, or like progress is very slow, I lose interest.
Well, progress can be very slow. I don't
Yeah.
know. So I can remember there were like there were things that immediately pop into mind. Anything to do with tracking. A trick that I use a lot. I don't know if you watch my videos or not. But a trick that I use a lot is I'll have text that tracks somebody's face or some object. I do this a lot in my videos.
Oh, what the
So
hell? Wait, I need that.
there is no shortcut to this box. There is no shortcuts to this box. I kid you not. You go frame by frame in your editor, and then you just move the objects onto whatever object you're tracking.
Oh, wait. I use a similar format. I slow down the video to 5 times speed.
Yep, and then you just
then
track it. Yes,
yeah,
yep,
it's hell.
yes,
It's hell.
yes. I do this quite often,
Yeah,
and I
like
just like it.
you like it.
Yes,
You like it. What do you mean you like it?
I like doing
stuck.
it.
It's
That
stuck.
shit's
Man.
awesome.
I have
Dio,
to-
I totally. Sorry, Vox, continue.
Oh, sorry. I just want to add that, like, I remember one time I was trying to slow down like this 5 minute, or not 5, like 3 minute clip, and it took me like 20 minutes of just me holding my mouse
Yep.
and tracking. That shit, oh my god,
Yep.
that was hell, man. All right, go on. Sorry.
Like, no, Dio, I get you. I couldn't get you if we had this conversation way earlier. I have got an editor, and he's freaking dedicated. So he's working on one of my probably biggest project I ever have. It's like I told him, between him and I, that this video that we're making right now, we want this to be the most watched video ever in AK. That's how
Oh,
ambitious
yeah?
we are.
Jeez.
But as in we're intending to make a video of like a guide that has never been seen before.
Oh,
And
a
something
guide.
that was gonna help a lot of players, whether
Nice.
new or old. So
Hmm.
Are you
I
trying
told him
to?
to edit this, and I told him don't stress out, don't like take too much editing into it. Just paste some stuff over, use some simple template, and then just a week later, I asked him how's the progress, and he told me, "Yo, look at me do all these vectors animation,
Oh,
like for
vectors.
example the
Oh,
classes."
vectors. Oh,
He
that's
went
a
to
black hole.
animate every single thing.
Man.
Oh,
He
vectors are a
animated
black
like
hole.
the background.
It would be.
So he didn't edit on one thing. He edited.
Yep.
So normally if you
Yep.
edit videos on Premiere Pro, right? He edited things on After Effects. He edited things on
Yep.
Photoshop.
Yep.
He almost told me, "Yo, if I could add Blender into it, that would be so cool." I'm like, "What the fuck? I have to pay you way more for your
Yeah.
effort."
No,
Guys,
Holy shit! And I asked him, "Does he like? Why is he okay to do this?" And he told me that he likes it. And I'm just there like, "You like it? This
so
looks like torture to me."
let me explain something. So I think that like the reason why I like it, I don't know why other editors like it, and the thing that keeps me from being someone else's editor. Let me explain. I like coming up with a scene in my mind and then making that scene reality. It's almost like I feel like I'm kind of like a painter in that sense, where I come up, I'm like, all right, I want this joke to work. Like I want the joke to be here's a very specific one because it's something that I did. I want the joke to be me and my two friends are watching Spice and Wolf. How do I portray that to everyone? And so what I did after going through a whole bunch of things is that I have one layer. So I took an image of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because I am Dio's opinions. My personality is tied in with Dio, right, from JoJo's.
Trademark.
And so I took a picture from Stardust Crusaders and I cropped out very carefully 3 images of the 3 JoJo's characters, and then they were all facing behind them. So then it looks like they're looking inwards towards the screen. And then I got it from like a depth of view thing where I got a TV. Well, it looks like it's on a wall, and it looks like they're sitting on a couch. And then I put Spice and Wolf on a layer underneath that, playing the OP of Spice and Wolf on what looks like on the TV. So it looks like me and the boys, because you know that me or the boys, because we're from JoJo's, are watching Spice and Wolf. I'm very proud of that scene, and I love it. And because it's like I thought of this in my mind, and I'm like, I'm just going to make this into reality.
What the heck is Spice
Yeah,
and Wolf?
that's
How
awesome.
dare
Spice and
you?
Wolf is anime.
No, like, I don't know. What is
You
that?
just- Oh,
I've never watched it. Sorry, but yeah, I know what it is. I've seen it. The main character
You
was
know-
cute.
Spice
He
and
is.
Wolf?
She's best girl. Anyway,
it
we
would
should
be
move off
so
of this topic before I commit a
interesting.
hate crime.
Spice.
Man, I'm kind of sad now because it would be so interesting to have Raxi here to like give his piece because, I mean, I don't want to gloat. He's my brother, so I think I'm a bit biased.
Yeah,
but,
Rexy's editing
like,
is very good. Yeah.
Wait, oh my god,
Yeah.
that's your profile picture.
Yes, it is my Discord profile picture
Oh, I thought that,
they can't see.
I thought that was Raftalia, man.
I am more disappointed in you than when you said that Silver Ash did physical damage.
Well, that's not physical damage.
I am. I mean arts damage. Shit, I misspoke. I am so beyond in pain.
Wait,
Guys,
But-
you're witnessing the crashing of Dio.
but she
Sadly, there's no
kind
face cam, but he's crashing.
you would see why I would think that though, yeah?
No,
No?
no. One has rounded ears. The other one has pointy ears. First of
Oh.
all, the
Wait, does
face
she? I've,
structures
I've,
are entirely different.
I've never watched Shield Hero 2, so sorry?
I mean, how did you know of Ratalia? You know what? Never
Because
mind.
she's everywhere. Like you know her even though you don't watch it.
Bro, Dio, just make a comeback. Just tell him to delete his channel. He already did it. Let's use that against him.
All right, listen. But when you're done unprivating all of your videos and making an apology, you and me have to go watch Spice and Wolf sometime. You're gonna not like it, and that's gonna be fine. But at least you know what it is after that.
Oh, so it's gonna be like a special Harmonics episode. It's not D&D anymore. It's Dio and Box2 watchers.
Listen, I
Spice
might
and
do
Wolf.
I might do a watch along. All right, as I said, I like to commit to the bit. So listen, Box, if you're up for it, me, you, and our communities can all watch Spice and Wolf together one day.
You know
I
what?
Can I
love
also
the
watch
shit out of
Spice and
that.
Wolf? I've never
Sure.
watched that show. I
Even
like
though-
the show, but I've never watched it.
Even though it looks like shit, I'm down.
What?
What?
I mean, I'll be on it.
No, that's fair. The animation in Spice and Wolf, like the anime is
Yeah.
old, so the Zoomer over here that only watches stuff with the animation is going to have a hard time watching Spice and Wolf. Oh, by the way, it's about economics. I forgot to mention that.
Oh, I'm good. Economics? What the hell? This
No,
looks
no,
like
Wait,
no,
what?
the
Does
Trust
Spice
is
and Wolf-
fantastic.
Okay.
Wait, Cookie, did you not know that either?
Huh? Sorry?
Did you not know that either?
That is about economics?
Yeah, that's economics. Yeah.
I didn't watch Spice and Wolf.
Well, even if you don't watch the show, you can still know what it's about.
No, I don't know what it's about. I've only seen pictures.
Oh yeah, no, it's about so the Spice in Spice and Wolf is a merchant called Lawrence, and he picks up a wolf
so
god.
Spice is like
Spice and Wolf. He's a
it's
spice merchant.
a
Yes.
product. Oh.
Is this Spice and
interesting.
Wolf or Spice in Wolf? Oh,
Wait,
you know, I'm asking
why would there be
I'm-
Spice in
I-
Wolf?
okay. Okay. Next, go next. No, I did Never mind.
You know, when you say spice in wolf, I imagine someone open up a wolf stomach or something and then put
Shut the
spices
fuck
inside.
up, Cookie Kaze.
Christ, man.
No, you don't get to say that.
Continue.
Spice and wolf. Spice and wolf. Oh,
Box, I
okay.
think you killed
Box?
Dio.
Dio?
No, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Someone gave it to my
No,
room.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine, Dio. You have
Oh, Dio, you
fucking
missed it.
blessed-
Okay, great.
Yeah, good. Let's continue.
Dio,
Oh,
you
fuck,
know
it's
to
gonna
ask
see it
about
in
it.
the
Let's continue where
recording.
we're from.
I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Dio.
you'll listen to it when you rewatch the thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
He
Oh,
loses
Wait,
track.
we went way off topic, bro.
Yeah, we
we went way
Anyway.
off topic. Holy shit.
No, so okay.
Yeah.
So to bring it back again, what's I think, did everyone answer what their most favorite and least favorite were for
What is
score?
this
I
most
don't think
favorite?
Cookie
Because
answered, did
Sora
he?
was ranking, I didn't capture. What was he ranking?
Yeah, wait, what was it again? I
What's your
forgot.
favorite and least favorite thing about being a YouTuber?
Yes,
Oh.
your favorite and least favorite things
What's
about
my
content
favorite and least favorite thing? I don't like anything about it.
Ooh.
Wait,
Hold up. Wait, hold up. Wait a minute.
Hot
No,
news, Cookie
I-
deletes
I-
his YouTube channel.
Wait a minute.
Fucking Sigma.
Cookie,
I'm next.
Cookie, I'm done.
No. I'm quite serious in the sense where when I say I don't like anything about it, because I started streaming first. Actually, I was on Twitch. I wasn't on YouTube. It took me a long time before I suddenly said, okay, I'm gonna do YouTube. So I started doing YouTube when I got in a convo with some of my viewers. I'll specifically drop a name, which is Reprint. He also streams on Twitch. He tried YouTube, but he decided not to. And then he called me one day and we were talking about, hey, how could I grow my Twitch channel? And we then said, honestly, it's important to grow the social base, you know. In order to really pop off as someone on social media, you want to try to branch off, which is why a lot of people have Twitter, they got YouTube, they got Discord, they got all sorts of channels. And that was the part where I started thinking, if I want to become bigger, will I have to adventure somewhere else? So I had Discord first, and then YouTube came after. And it really did help. I mean, the growth is insane that I see over the past year. And I when I compare the two, I realized that I'm more comfortable live. Like even now doing a podcast and just casually talking about thinking what I'm saying, it's very natural. But when I do a YouTube video, I get nervous so easily. It's weird that I look comfortable on camera when I live stream, but I get all awkward when I'm filming a video. And then that's the first part. Filming is the first process. The next process is editing the whole thing. And I think that's a nightmare. It's like if you spend 40 minutes to film raw footage, you spend another 40 minutes and actually extra to edit and cut the proper thing. And then afterwards you overlay, that's even more time. So that whole process to me feels like hell. It's a lot of work just to make one video go live.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. I think the time equation I've done for my own videos is that it takes about 1 day for roughly between 5 and 8 minutes of content in a video.
Yeah, and I think that's like really difficult. But even when I say I don't like YouTube, it doesn't mean that I don't dedicate to my content. I still do it. I think it's perfectly fine to not like what you do and still do it. Kind of. It's like a give and take. I like, for example, in my case, I like the game that I play. Actually, this makes me feel like I'm vouching for what Box2 is doing because he said he might not enjoy AK as much like Arknights, but if he still enjoys making content, then maybe there's still some justification that he can continue doing what he does. Like, I love AK a lot as a game, but when it comes to making videos, it's always this fight of finding motivation to do it. So I always have to figure out how do I want to do so. Like, I think of it as this is for the community, you know, this is going to help in my growth and all that kind of thing. In the future, when all of you guys who's watching, when you have a job and anything, it's perfectly fine when you don't like your job. You know, you just do your job to do your job. And I think that's the thing that I tell myself. I will never do anything that I'm super passionate about because I feel like eventually I'll hate it. Like I'm not insanely passionate about YouTube, actually. Although I'm very likely to still stay and do it as like a whole long time thing, full time. I don't know if this will be a career. At most, this is a side career. I might just work something next time, depending on the success rate. So
I
yeah.
don't know. Like, what you're saying is valid, but I don't feel like I can agree with it. I guess it's
That's
kind of
perfectly
like the
fine.
person. I have been, because I have been in the situation where I have done a job because it's a job and you have to do it. And I don't feel like that adds anything to me. You know, it's like, yeah, sure, it's
I feel
When
like
you say add anything to you, you feel like you don't really gain, apart from money, that is, you don't feel like you're
yeah.
gaining or learning anything out of it.
I feel like most human beings are like that, though. I feel like most human beings in the world, even outside of like our content creator bubble, just do their job because they have to do their job, and that's just the reality of the situation. I mean, I'm currently doing my job because I'm just doing. I have to do my.
Mm.
Like that's
Maybe to
what it is.
That's the thing. I don't know if that's gonna sound like a bit like, I don't know, nihilistic or depressing or something, but I don't give that big value to my life
Damn.
unless I feel like there is something that I do which actually gives it
Well,
meaning. You know?
I also feel like this is not that dissimilar to most people. I feel like most people, because so much of their life is consumed by things that they don't want to do, have to hardcore focus on something that they do want to do. And when they lose that, because most people's jobs aren't fulfilling to them, they tend to spiral into things like depression. For me personally, what brings me joy is my close friends, and also doing things like the hobbies that I love doing, like content creation, like watching movies, watching video games. I live a lot of the time for consuming media. I work so that I can pay the bills so that I can consume more media. I love watching movies with my, especially when I'm watching movies with the boys. We're watching House recently. That show's awesome. Show's great. We're loving it. And so like when I get off of work every single day and I come home and we just like watch shows and stuff like that in the Discord, or even when I'm alone and I'm watching movies. Recently watched The Kingsman. That was a fun movie. Um, that's what I live for a lot of the time, right? Like I know that like that could be somewhat unhealthy, like living just for media. Again, I had told you I have like a circle of friends and stuff like that, but without anything, like if your job is just a work that you hate, you can very easily spiral into like a bad place, like no good area.
You know what?
Like
So
that's it.
I do
It's like,
think. Oh, sorry. Continue.
oh, survival has very, like, it doesn't have a lot of value to me. Like surviving in and of itself for me is like basically half a step above being dead. Okay, that sounds bad. That sounds bad. Sorry.
Oh, that's very
Um,
philosophical,
Huh.
actually. That's interesting.
like for me, simply like existing doesn't have a lot of value in and of itself. And I was in a very bad place before I started YouTube because I was pushed in all of these directions that I just didn't fit in. I had like tried 5 or 6 different like universities slash colleges because
Oh yeah.
people wanted me to. People were like, "Oh, you're smart. You can do this. You can do that." And I just always gave up, you know. And I was in this weird limbo where I'm like, do I just straight up do not have any reason to be here? You know? So I don't know. I feel like it's weird. Sorry, I'm not. I don't know if I'm
But
making a point here. I'm just
if,
expounding.
if I
Sorry.
draw back to this, right, then in a sense, would you say YouTube is the part that gives you that new meaning, that sort of feeling of, hey, this is very purposeful? Is that where
Um,
you're getting to?
I'd say partially. My dream is still to like write something and create a story that people will love. Like that was always my dream. But
Like
YouTube is definitely something like, you know, putting myself out there and being like people can actually appreciate it. I have something of value that I can show the world, you know? I feel like that's very important to
want to be like president?
me. Fucking damn it, Box.
Correct. 2022 president. Let's go.
No, I won't lie. I am starting to go in like the direction in life where I am kind of living for YouTube, but not that much. Like I really do want to take content creating as a job, and I don't really see any other job that would fit me. I mean,
Hmm,
entertainer as a whole, I do really want to do entertaining stuff.
I mean, it can
yeah.
be fine, but like, so since we're on the heavy, this podcast episode's so heavy. Since we're on the topic of like mental health, I feel like YouTube is a job, and I got a taste of it at the very start because I blew up at the start and then I dropped off. And the reason I dropped off was because well, there were many reasons. Like there were external factors that I won't talk about here. But the
You did a really big, impressive video at the start.
yeah,
Yeah, you did. Holy
um,
shit.
the I think that's one of my worst videos to date. But anyway,
What?
the where was I at? Oh, I think that for me personally, the mental health of trying to keep this as a YouTube or content creation in general as a job is really rough. Um, the constant chasing of views that you don't know if you're ever gonna get, and that also you don't know so I feel like the problem is that if you go into a normal job and you do what you know is good, you're going to get paid an hourly rate, and so at the very least you're doing that. But with YouTube, because your livelihood is in the hands of the YouTube algorithm. um I've seen so many channels that aren't just my own, but many other channels that are making the same exact content over and over again, and then suddenly one of their videos pops off. They get tons of views. They're like, "All right, I can do this. This is it," and the YouTube algorithm doesn't like them anymore. Or sometimes YouTube algorithm will like them for a while, and then suddenly doesn't like them anymore, and then maybe likes them again later. I'm sure that like possibly all of you have had that one video that went kind of viral, and you go, "Oh shit, this is it." And then usually after that one video that went kind of viral, you can't keep that 5 minutes of fame because the internet is everyone has the attention span of a fly, and also the YouTube algorithm is random and the rules are made up. And so I feel like the mental health of being in this space for your job would destroy me. I feel like it would absolutely demolish me.
I feel like
I will put Box first.
yeah.
before
I feel
yeah.
like that part is kind of what keeps it exciting though, because I don't know. It's kind of like YouTube Gacha, where you don't know if it's gonna.
The gambling
God.
addict is back.
What I will say is that I don't feel it's as much luck as like it's not totally luck or as much as it seems in the beginning. Yes, if you just focus on your channel and only make videos and stay there, it is luck. It is as you say, but I feel there are moves that one can make and like, smart plays that can like of course the risk never becomes 0%, but it can mitigate it,
So
exponentially.
yeah, so here we go into the other part that's bad for mental health. You can sell. You can. What you're describing is what I called myself. You can sell your soul to the devil. If I wanted to, and I know I am capable of doing this. I want everyone to know this. I know that I am capable of making content that people want to see. If I wanted to, and if I felt the need to, I probably could make content that would get views. I just have no fucking interest in doing that because
You
I
know
will
what?
tell you. So again, passion, and I've just described to you. So to back up again, my passion mainly is in editing, right? It's making something. It's making a vision inside of my mind that I really want to see come into reality. I think that's really cool. And man, if I sold my soul to the devil, all of the passion and everything that I love about what I'm doing would just crumble into ashes and fade away into nothingness. And man,
I mean,
that's awful. Like I've done exactly one video that I did because I quote unquote had to. And it's the only video of mine that has a sponsorship in it. Spoilers, I guess.
No deep there.
Okay, guys, go
yes.
find the video.
I mean, if you watch my videos, you know which one it is. And I hated editing that video because I had no passion for it, and I knew I was only doing it because it would get views. And let me tell you, it did get views. It has more views than some of the videos that I think are way better on my channel, and that's just the way that it is, right? That's the game you play. So like, if so again, let me clarify. If you want to make content for a living, but want to still make the content you want to make, not the content that other people will watch, it's hell.
Yes. Wait.
Because then you're up to then it's just all right. You're rolling the dice, and
I
the
can
only way
relate
out
to
of
that.
that, the only way out of that is to sell your soul to the devil.
Okay. Let me pose something. Do you think me making the harmonies was selling my soul to the devil?
No.
I don't
Huh?
think so.
Do you enjoy it?
So
Well then, yeah. No. Well, yeah. Well then, no. So
It
I'm
was a
saying that.
smart move. Like that's what I said. You can make smart moves that you also enjoy if you're like, I feel like, there is way more going into it than just, you're either making something you despise or you don't have views.
There's a gray area. Yeah, there's a compromise.
Yeah, because as much as I seem like I sell myself to the devil,
balance.
sorry.
Hey, I'm so confused about the phrasing "sell yourself to the devil." What does this refer to?
Like making content that you don't like.
Because it's trendy, you know?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Wait, so what is there? Is there a easier English translation for me to understand?
So the
What the
reference
specific scenario?
Yeah. The reference selling your soul to the devil, what it means. So if you sell your soul to the devil, which is like the ultimate bad guy in Christianity, which is one of the major Western religions.
No, that one I'm aware. I just don't know why
okay.
you're using it.
Well, so it's a common phrase that I think it's a common phrase. Maybe I'm just weirdo. It's a pretty common. It's a pretty common phrase for saying that like you're doing something at a massive cost. And in this scenario, the massive cost would be not doing things, not making content that you want to make because you're making content that would get views. But it's kind of like a dark bargain, if you will.
Cookie,
Okay,
do you know about...
that's why I was so confused about the comparison because it doesn't feel that dark. Yeah, continue.
Cookie, do you know about the how do you say it? What's that thing with the Megamind meme? Y'all remember that?
Megamind, yeah, what about him?
No bitches?
the one where he kicks the truck.
The one where he kicks the truck, yes.
Yeah,
I don't think I saw that.
That one was like, dude, that was like super fucking trendy at that time, and I was like, I thought it was fucking unfunny as fuck, but then I really wanted to make a video on it because I was like, views, money, haha.
Man,
but I didn't.
Exactly. It's those kind of situations where like even if you think a joke is unfunny, you put it in because you know it's topical.
Yeah,
that's like, stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's the kind of situation.
Yeah, I've still done that a few times, but I stop myself sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I get what our like major difference in this particular field is, Dio. I feel like for me, the mere act of figuring out what would make people enjoy, like what would make like the most people enjoy, is fun to me. Like the mere idea of coming up with like these little plans and ideas and like this like a lot of people
like a speed
like
run.
this. Yeah.
So,
like,
correct.
I
I'm actually
fun to me.
Yeah, I didn't really speak up too much on this topic yet, but like I'm on your side on this. That like for me and my stance to YouTube, I also believe that you could make videos that you want and what viewers want at the same time. It is a very difficult juggling act.
Yes.
Especially because for some people they are really just hot-headed on. I just want to make good videos that I think is good to me, but it might not actually be good for viewers. And there are other people who say I want to make videos because I want a lot of money. I don't really give a shit about what I care about.
Described me in Box. Continue.
Yeah, but
you described me in Section A and Box in Section 2. Continue.
But I'm on the side that I do make videos that I think about what I want and what people want. To me, that is that sort of. I think this is something that many people who want to take YouTube seriously, in a sense, this is something that you have to do. You will realize that it doesn't sustain if you don't perform this thing where you figure out how to make the things that you like and things that you know people will watch. Because if not, you're gonna get a situation where, as you say, you get one video pop off and then all of a sudden your channel just dies and all that kind of thing. In the case of whatsoever, like I've been making videos for a freaking long time now, and I see the mountain up and down. I don't have like a one-off situation. I do see few of my videos suddenly get popular. Even one of my first video that started out to not have many views, it's in the span of a year, it became one of my most watched, and I was so surprised. It was a video of like me just roasting a person's account. It was so underwatched last time, but
people
it popped
love
off. So,
reviews, man. I don't know why.
Yeah. So I feel that it is wholly possible, but it's tiring. That is something I'll admit. Like I do get very tired by it. It is hell to become someone. If you ever want to take YouTube as a job, I've got lots of people messaging me, like asking me, "Hey, what's a tip to become a YouTuber or a streamer?" I think yes, I could advise them, but often I also precursor them and tell them, you gotta be sure that you're ready for this. I'm telling you, as someone who's only done this for a year, holy shit, this is freaking tiring.
Yep.
I never, when I first started YouTube or Twitch, I never respected, it's not, I mean, I had favorite people that I watch, but I didn't respect YouTubers and streamers enough. I always thought it was a very easy thing to do. I'm like, you put a camera on, you play a game, you make some funny faces. Who can't do that, right? Everybody in the world is able and capable to do that. Until I put my hands in it. And then that's when I realized, oh my God, this is way more than what I think. And that's when my respect grows.
You're basically becoming a celebrity, quote unquote, without any of the support, of the supporting infrastructure that celebrities have.
Well,
Yes.
You're also expected to know. You're expected to know like a bunch of random bullshit that's vaguely connected, right? Like you have to know technical stuff. You also have to know how to write. You have to know how to edit. You have to know how to do like moderation of a community. You have to know how to work YouTube systems and stuff like that. You have to know how to be a graphic designer for thumbnails. It's like what all of these things are like barely connected, and you have to know every single one of them.
Yeah.
I stated just now that I don't like YouTube, but after I hear what you guys say, I thought about it again. I'm like,
I feel like you need to know how to effectively delegate, because I feel like YouTube is a game of cunning. First of all, I feel like that's the most important skill, because
Game of
I
what?
remember how
Sorry?
you said that this thing
Cunning.
about that one that went viral. Wait, cunning. It's
Intellect.
It's yeah.
His mic died.
Oh, so you can continue with the he just wanted to know what you said that one time. Continue, correct.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a game of of wit, I guess. Because remember how you said, oh, that one video that went semi-viral, we all have it. For me, that was the Friend Rank series, right?
Yeah.
And if I simply wrote that out, eventually we would reach my current point with the channel, which is fucking dead. But I didn't. I made the Harm Assist, I did other collabs, and I feel like that's the main skill one needs to actually be good, have that itch to do new cool shit that people will enjoy,
Yep.
and not just look at it as if I am making a video factory, this is my platform, that's where it stops.
Yeah. Well, and so as usual, I said something extremely inflammatory, then walk it back. This is I should just rename the whole podcast to that. Anyway, the art of being a content creator, as many of you have mentioned, and something that I realized myself was when I was trying to do it, was that you have to be able to find the compromise between what you want to do and what YouTube wants to see you do, or what viewers want to see you. I'm not wholly for myself. I don't make fully selfish content. I know what my viewers want to see, and sometimes if I don't hate the idea, then I'll do it, right? I streamed Genshin, all right? That happened once. Hey, there was hey. No, to be fair, to give backstory, I had a spin the wheel stream where I put a whole bunch of random stuff on a wheel, and then it spun around, and one of those was do a Genshin stream, and it landed on that wheel, and I regret that wheel.
What ARR?
But anyway,
You're telling me playing Genshin was the worst thing on the wheel for you to regret it?
it wasn't the worst thing, but it was the worst thing that it landed on. Well, okay, so there was speaking a tsundere for an hour, which was really rough, but we don't have to. Anyway, but this tightrope walk that you have to walk, I think. Oh God, is a random quotoid from Dio. John Mayer, who is a musician, I think mentioned something you have to make.
Guy.
Okay, yeah, you have to make you have to do 50-50 for 50 for them, 50 for me. I think this was an interview where somebody had asked him how many videos how many videos do you make for yourself versus how many videos do you make for the viewers, and it's half of the videos are for my viewers, half of the videos are for videos that I know will get views, and then half of the videos are videos that I want to make that are kind of more experimental. And I think that's probably a balance. And you have to be willing to do that balance if you're going to want to take YouTube seriously. Or you can just be like me and say, fuck it, and I'm going to upload whenever I want to.
Some people...
Be a maverick.
Some people are just blessed, and what they want to do perfectly aligns with what they
Yes,
do.
also true. Yes, some people do. I envy the man. I envy not the man that is popular. I envy the man that is popular doing what they love. Holy shit. It is my dream to one day just do the thing that I love. That'd be awesome. I haven't really found it yet. I like editing, kind of. But if I just find a thing that I really love that I can also make money at, that would be awesome. Okay, God, get on that. that doesn't give me
Okay,
like
go on.
that doesn't give me like massive trauma or mental stress. But unfortunately, life is hard. As a side note, this is a wild turn left here. This is some like LSD stuff. So weird question I have for the room. So do you ever fear, and I know that you don't, but just continue with me here for a second. Do you ever fear that what you do you ever fear finding out what you like the most in the world?
That's a really odd question.
So
I get it. I
Yeah,
get
so
it.
let me
Yeah.
explain. So what if right now you're doing YouTube, Cookie, and like you're pretty deep in YouTube. You've been doing it for like a year, 2 years, 3 years down the line, okay? And like you're like really efficient at it, and let's say you make it and you're actually making a livable wage off of it. And then you find something that you enjoy doing, even let's say that like randomly, you love painting.
Okay. I can put a more relatable example. I know something that I might end up liking. I have a dream in music production.
Okay, yes. So let's say that like as you get into music production more, you just like actually really love that, but you're like already 3 years deep into like a YouTube career. And I mean like in theory you could switch your YouTube to music production, so like that's you could do that. But like let's say that you can't, right? Like say that you're like an engineer or something like that. Oh no. Or like say like you're like work in a factory or something. And then you find out like one thing that you're really good at. That kind of terrifies me in a way, in like an odd way.
This
Like,
feels like economics class. Like you gotta choose between one choice over another.
Philosophy.
or even like not even that you enjoy it, but like that you feel like you find that thing that you were destined to do, but you're already kind of like your life is kind of on track by that point.
Okay, I can't tell. Okay, to me, even if I find that thing that I like so much, I wouldn't say it's destiny per se that I had to do that. To me, it's at that point in time I really got to assess what I feel is more valuable to me. So, you can say yes. On one hand, this whole YouTube thing can look like it's money is for the views and everything. I'm not one for the views. Money is nice, but I think the biggest part that keeps me going on YouTube is the fact that I built such a huge community of people who surround me. So the whole idea of leaving YouTube, it's something that definitely scares me a bit because
Yeah, yeah.
I would think of it as, whoa, I'm leaving so many people behind. Why? How could I bear to
Or
do
even like
something like that?
when
Because
you I mean like even when you're like working in like a factory or something like that, once you get like 5 years into your career, the you do know like a large like support network of people that are there for you. Obviously it's not like the thousands that are in your
okay,
Discord or something,
I
but
feel
like
like
yeah.
if I was working in a factory, so we're talking physical labor, and that's something that I do for 5 years. And then you're telling me I find something else, then would I switch it? Because the factory I have a greater security, right? I worked
Yes,
on this
yeah.
for 5 years. I know for sure if I stay here, I can still get this good wage. Whereas if I switch, maybe I like it for the first part. I don't know, I suddenly hate it, or the money ain't as good as I think. That sort of thing. Uh I think if you put forth that statement, I would probably just still do the switch actually, because it depends on what a person prioritizes in. For me, I'm a people's person. I'm not money minded. I'm not for like numbers. All I care about is that myself, I'm happy and that people around me are happy. I don't really ask for anything more than that. You
Based.
know, um,
Money.
yeah, like that's the thing that keeps me going every day. To me, like just now, I wanted to put up this point that I stated I didn't like YouTube, and when I so strongly say that, I just don't like the process of it because it's so daunting. It's so tiring to get through all of these things. But the part that I really love about YouTube for me is the product. Like to see people's being happy over what they watch, to realize that I'm bringing people together. And I say I don't like the process, but honestly, I learned a lot, right? I learned how to manage a whole community. I learned the idea of video editing. I learned many skills that I didn't think that I would gain. That is the part that keeps me going and say, this is what I like. I just don't like doing. I just like what I get out of it.
Yeah, Cookie is wholesome, by the way. Look at this wholesome
He's
take.
he's a noble person.
Yeah, this is a wholesome take. The best thing that he enjoys out of YouTube is the community and all of the lovely viewers that are watching this whenever it's posted. Know that your comments on this video make Cookie happy. Unlike me, who is a cold person, who's a borderline sociopath, I guess.
I read all my comments.
Or like
My most
Box,
recent
who will
video.
delete this podcast in 2 weeks.
Box is gonna break into my house and delete this podcast, and then re-upload it, and then delete it again.
The recent video where I was talking about the AK community thing, that thing had like 1,300 comments. I read every single one in my bid.
Nice.
It took me 2.5 hours to read everything.
No, I
read through the whole thing.
I mean, I joke, but I do actually enjoy talking with my community. I said before, like I talk to my community a decent bit in the Discord. I abandoned them there for a little while, but I'm pretty active now, right, guys? Anyway, the and I do read a lot of my comments. Notably though, I feel like actually this is on like a random question for you guys. At what point do you stop reading comments for a video? Because I feel like at a certain point, it becomes hard to go back to your older videos. It's because like I'll get videos that I'll get comments on videos that I made like 6 months ago, and I'm like, I don't even what.
Oh, I mean,
The day when
I
spam
do-
bots invade my channel. That's my answer.
for me, what I do is I go to YouTube Studio, go to the comment,
The
and
comment
once
section,
I haven't
yeah.
answered, and yeah, just go like scroll through them, and that's what I do.
Well, that becomes really hard for me. A lot of the time, I used to do that, but it just takes so long. So a lot of the time, yeah, a video is like live in my mind for like a week, and I'll respond and or like and or read all of the comments that are made within the first week of that video going live, and then there's like a random non-0% chance that I'll read your comment if it's after that. Because like sometimes I'll sit down and I'm like, I just want to read comments and respond to them. And so I'll go through the YouTube Studio and I'll like quote unquote interact with my community that way, or like older videos and stuff like that. But I do not consistently on like a daily or even weekly basis like sit down in the comment section and just like read like 6 months old or like new comments on 6 month old videos. That is not something that I do, simply because I don't have the time. Like the honest answer.
I also used to read like all my comments too, but I feel like now that school has been pretty stressful. I won't lie.
Yeah.
I read less. I also used to heart every single comment I've seen, but I feel like that would make like a heart inauthentic, so I started doing that less. Is it like
Yeah.
make it more valuable? For
I don't know.
stocks?
It's funny because the whole heart thing, I was always like I was so stupid with the whole heart thing because before I started YouTube, I was really smug with it. I was always like, yes, I'm always gonna heart like fucking like specific content, and I'm gonna like my hearts are gonna be very curated. And then I became so enamored with the fact that people even watched my video that I literally just hearted everything.
I like hearting people's comments because I feel like it makes them feel seen, or like, so this is like a do unto others as you would have them done unto you. I like it when another content creator that I respect hearts my comment, because I do feel as if they have probably read my comment, and so I will, if I have read your comment, I will probably heart your comment. Sometimes I don't. It is what it is. Sometimes I'll just like I know I've had days where I'll just like read comments and then I won't heart anything because I'm lazy. That has happened before. But a lot of the time, if I read your comments, I'll probably heart it, just because I know that like I've had like eye patch wolf videos where I've like commented and I get a heart, and it's like, oh, that feels good. It feels good to know that a person that I parasocially respect, or respect the opinions of, has seen my opinion on his content and said, yes-ish.
Yes-ish.
Yes-ish. Yeah, because it's not like a tactile approval of everything that I've said, obviously, but yeah. Especially like the I especially will give you a heart if you write like a fucking essay in my comment section. All right, if you think I don't read those essays, I totally do.
Guys, I don't.
I know people just because, and I think this probably has something to do with like the type of content that I make. I'll make like, oh yeah, guys, it's totally an arknights video. So anyway, let's talk about how categories are weird in a philosophical sense. I will get like long essays in my comments and I'll read all of them. I won't respond to them all the time because a lot of the time they're really rambly, and I don't really have a response to it. But oh yeah, if I have given you a heart and you wrote an essay, I've read every single word of your long ass diatribe on why I'm wrong.
Jesus Christ. makes me sound makes me sound like a dick now.
I mean, I don't know. I
just
don't read
don't
all
like
my
reading.
comments. So we already know, Box. We already know you
Read
don't.
comments, but sometimes like hey, cut that out. I love my fans. I love my fans.
I love Muffin.
I love her.
What did he say to cut out?
The part
Nothing.
where he says he doesn't love his fans. Anyway, well,
Wait,
I think,
what?
I think
Okay,
after,
no, Dio, you have the power. Keep it in.
But I think that your
Whoa, what?
listen, all right. I think that I don't need to cut it out because I think that your fans can feel your love after this last week.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
They
I hope I'm
feel
forgiven.
they
I hope I'm
they
forgiven.
feel the overwhelming showers of love pouring out to you into them.
I fucking
Especially after the triple. Sorry, what?
Yeah, that was that just oozed love, you know.
Hey, me in the
Box it.
future, I hope you're still alive.
Just remember that your 2022 is gonna be a wild ride.
So
You're gonna get every single viewer reminding you of this.
we delved in, we delved into some pretty dark places. But the one question, and this has been on my mind ever since Box did it. But what one question that might be a little bit on edge / toxic. If you were to end your YouTube channel, how would you do it? Would you just disappear, or would you make like a hey, I'm quitting? And would you even take the extra step to delete all of your videos like Box did? Quote unquote delete.
I bet.
Okay, I know that for sure I would never delete my videos. Like that's one.
Yeah, same to be honest.
I feel like that's partially because I am proud of what I've done. Even if I do want to finish, like I don't think like anyone can take that away from me for like at that point, and I feel like I don't want to do that either. And second of all, I just feel it's a bit of a dick move. You know, if someone really likes a video of mine,
Yeah,
or like, you know,
what a-
in the best case, yeah, what a dick move for someone to
What a
do. You
dick
know?
move. Who would do that? That's fucked up.
Yeah, who would do that? Like, you know, first of all that, and second, like, imagine if someone has actually been like positively affected by one of your videos, which is another like dream of mine, you know, like that I actually help someone out there with a video, and then I go and delete it, you know, like fuck, I'm an asshole at that point.
Mm. I guess how I would quit. I would make an apology or a leaving
Wait,
video.
how would you quit?
Yeah.
You mean it hasn't?
Okay, how would you quit for real? For real? No jokes.
For
this
real,
time.
yes.
No
It's
joke.
like a fifth,
Guys,
your fifth
believe
try.
me this time. Like, guys, believe me this time. I'm for real. No, I would make a
Okay,
video.
tell us how you quit so that we know it's the real deal.
The same way I would do now, but then just like next
What?
time, no one will believe me.
But it's not a joke next time.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
swear it's
see.
not a joke this time. guys.
Oh boy, I cannot wait for the day that if it ever happens, the day that Box actually quits YouTube. Oh,
you know,
God.
it's just
Yeah.
like,
So
don't you
no,
guys
Box,
think,
you do the same thing.
like, don't you guys
it's
think
correct,
that the
okay.
next person that's gonna quit ArcTube with a video saying I'm quitting is gonna be negatively affected because Box did it? Nobody will believe them.
No one will believe
Even
it,
if they didn't have anything to do with that.
And
Shit.
Oh, what about you, Cookie?
will I delete my videos? Like, what would I do?
Yeah,
I would quit. I
No,
guess.
I won't delete. I won't archive. I will leave them there, because I feel like what I'm doing now, Twitch streams and YouTubing, I feel like the evidence that I lived. So I leave it there just to keep it. It's like a memento, you know. So even if I'm out and away, people can always just look at the videos again, relook at it. Because I feel like I noticed my audience. Just yesterday, I went to look at the demographics of my viewers. I found out that 50% of them were 18 to 24 years old. And there was a variety. There's some that's younger and some that's much older as well. But I do notice that a lot of them are younger people. So I feel like when I think that, oh, my audience is so full of younger people, the more impressionable, you know, they look up to people. And for me, I feel like as if I got to keep myself there. Like they might see me as a figure that they want to follow. So I won't go like that drastic measure to say just get myself gone and all that kind of thing.
Would you make a video
And,
explaining why? Or
sorry?
would you make an
Would I make would I make a video to announce that I'm quitting? I can't tell the future, but looking at the way that I think I'll do things, no. If I do stop, it'll probably be very silent. I'll probably just drift. So I don't post anything
I always
for
feel like
months.
I always feel like something like an explanation is due if you're leaving.
An explanation
That's
is due.
Yeah, that's just me.
I don't really think so. I don't see a need to explain to anyone anything.
It's kind of
Yeah,
like closure.
and this even goes into like the even with like the closure. So this goes back all the way to tie it all the way back at the start with like the trilogy thing. I feel like content creation's careers are kind of like a trilogy. Oh wow, that's a metaphor. And so the idea here is that the do you owe your audience closure
I
by
know.
saying I'm going to quit?
I'll do it the same way that PewDiePie does it.
He didn't quit. Wait, did he?
He said he retired.
Oh, so you would say you
So
retired?
PewDiePie announced like a few months back, like he took a long pause and then he came back and then he told people he just tells his entire viewers that he's basically a retired guy. Like he's not really as into video creation, that kind of thing. But he still makes videos. So it's like he leaves the channel there, as a platform where if he suddenly gets that itch or that feeling of wanting to make a video, he just does it. But he's already telling people don't expect like regular schedules and all that kind of thing. He's just making video when he feel like it. Because man has a lot of money. He
Yep.
can live his life for whatever he wants. He's retired. He could just be the youngest retiree ever in the world for all I know. But and then again, a lot of billionaires could do
No,
it.
there
But
are a lot of billionaires, but
yeah, but that's the idea that I'll probably just do the same thing. I won't just tell people I'm gone. I'll just tell people like, oh, I'm just gonna be less regular about this. That kind of thing. Like I
Yeah.
won't kill the channel basically.
Yep, that's why I feel.
Isn't it so nice to leave a place where you can still speak to if your mind suddenly says, oh wow, bright brain idea, time to make a meme.
Yeah, and well, I 100% agree with Cookie. I don't think I'll ever give closure because I don't think I'll ever truly quit YouTube. Videos and content will just happen on my channel whenever they happen, and I feel like I've been pretty upfront about that. The main thing for me is that I started this channel as a stranger on the internet with some really strange opinions about some really strange things, and I want to scream into the void, and whoever will listen, and we can have a debate about that, about the strong opinions that I have about stupid things. And so whether I'm uploading like I am right now, where I'm uploading really, really frequently, because right now I'm going through a phase where I'm really passionate about what I'm doing in this sphere, or whether some stuff happens in my life where I can't upload as much and you don't hear from me for 2 months. Sorry about that, Discord. That will just happen sometimes. And it will ebb and flow like the tide, and sometimes you're gonna get more from me, sometimes you're gonna get less. But I think that if I do ever like leave for a long period of time, like a year or more, I don't think I'm going to make an announcement about that. I think I'm just gonna go, or you know what? No, knowing me, I'll probably make a low-key Discord message in a chat that no one reads, where I say
You are evil,
I'm
bro.
gonna go out to get some milk in like the art channel of one of my Discords, or in the art channel of one of the channels of my Discord. And then I'm just gonna stop posting content. And that will be the last message before I maybe come back 2 years later. All right. So if you ever see a message, I'm gonna go get some milk, know that I'm gonna be gone for a little while. Okay.
That is
Damn.
Giga
That
Chat. Wait,
sounds, that sounds weirdly sad. I feel like that's how fathers live.
That's the joke.
I always thought that was a
That's-
joke. Like
that's the joke that's the joke I'm making. Correct.
Man,
Hmm.
feels bad.
I don't know. I would like to think I'd be the type of person that would actually make a video and like, wrap it all up neatly. But something tells me I'm probably gonna be the guy that just leaves.
I'm telling you, the milk joke is solid. All right, you can steal it. I give you permission.
Oh, thanks for no
Hopefully I
copyright.
won't be, but
No copyright on that. Anyone that's listening to this, you can also go get milk. It's
Yeah,
really
tell them
tasty
what
milk. I'm the only one that can say strawberry milk though, because strawberry milk is obviously the best.
whoa!
Damn.
Hold up.
I mean, that's just a
Why?
fact.
Kind of like chocolate milk, though.
Chocolate milk is okay, but it's still not the best. All right, this is a fact. This is non-negotiable.
Strawberry milk doesn't even taste like straw. Okay, you know what? This is
we don't have strawberry milk.
That is
here, so I
perfectly
don't know how it
fine.
tastes.
Okay, can you send him some?
Yeah, I'll ship him some strawberry. I'll ship some strawberry milk to Greece.
Nothing can ever go with vanilla.
Yo, if you could, that would be a real solid. I don't know how the fuck it tastes.
Well, is there anything? Are there any other topics that anyone would want to speak about in terms of responsibility in YouTube? Box, have you learned anything?
I've reflected upon my actions, and I will never do it again until next April Fool's.
Man,
Until
you'll
next
never do it
April
again. Are you
Fool's.
sure?
Until
Box,
next April
Box,
Fool's.
April Fool's is every year. Are you sure?
Okay, you know what? Before all this controversy happened, I already thought about my next April Fool's plan.
What?
Is it as spicy as this year's?
No, it's not, but it's
That did not sound like a very
Is
convincing.
it gonna
no.
be? Is it gonna be an April Fool's where you talk about how much you actually hate me?
April Fool's, but this in Cookie Kaze, but it's actually real.
No, so you're gonna do the whole thing where you diss me,
No,
do a whole video essay, 10 minutes, and then after on April Fool's Day you say it's a joke, and then on April 2 you say it's not a joke,
The same time left.
It's not
and
a
then
joke.
1 week later, instead of doing an apology video, you
Saying that it
double down
wasn't
and say it is actually real.
What if
No,
I just
so
do it
I-
again?
So if you want random insight here, I don't know if it will ever happen, especially not before the karaoke stream. That's never happening, so it will never happen. I planned on doing a diss track for all of the Arknights content creators.
Oh
Oh
wow!
my god!
Wait, every single one of us?
Every single one of them was gonna get a
Holy
sentence.
shit.
Each
As
of them,
much as you
each
know,
of them were
Dennis.
gonna get a bullet. Yeah. I
Oh,
wrote
I'll
lyrics
I'll
and
be
stuff like
so
that, but
curious what
Oh
you're gonna
my
say.
God.
To me.
I just
I
couldn't
would
get
be
it. I just couldn't get it. I just couldn't get it in time. It was
That was
unfortunate.
a lot of work. What the
No,
hell?
it was a lot of work. Yeah, exactly. That's why. Yeah, I couldn't get it together in time. So I'm gonna have to save it for a different year, and I'm
Well,
definitely not
can you-
making it
can you just-
before the 10K. So
Box. Okay, you want to come back, right?
Yes.
Like you wanted to make some big bang.
Oh,
Can
to
you
the
make a
diss track.
video about one thing you hate about every content creator?
Do the
No,
diss track.
I will
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah.
I'm gonna get
Oh,
destroyed. But there's
God.
some
Oh,
content creators
hell
where I
yeah.
can't name a single thing though. Like I won't even lie.
Just don't write. Don't talk about them. Just talk about the ones that you actually have something to say.
I don't
worry,
really.
When I
I
lock
only
you
have,
into when I lock you into a Discord channel, I'll make you watch Spice and Wolf with me. You're gonna hate me. I don't think you'd like Spice and Wolf, but you gotta watch it, alright?
No,
Box gonna
Everyone's gotta
say
watch.
I bullied Box for Silver Ash physical damage.
Oh, arts damage. Shit. Oh fuck. We both made
Oh,
this
arts
mistake.
damage.
Oh no, Kiki, we both made the mistake. We can't bully him anymore. We've lost the bully
Oh
card.
no.
Only Skorak
Yes.
has the bully card.
Yo, imagine thinking Silver Ash does magic damage.
don't
Wouldn't be
read-
me.
I wouldn't.
Would never be me.
Yeah, but I don't really hate anyone in the Arknights community. I just like have some blacklisted. You know who I'm talking about.
I have no
Oh.
actual beef with anyone in the Arknights community. I know why people don't like Tectone, but I don't even hate Tectone. Like I just like don't care.
Yeah.
Because I'm in my own
Don't
sphere most of
either.
the time.
I don't.
I like Tectone.
Except Yi, who I have deep disagreements with. Yeah,
I've
me,
seen.
me
I've
and
seen.
Yi. Yeah, oh yeah. Me and him, we don't get along.
For reals?
Yeah.
No, not for
Yeah.
reals. No. No.
Disagree on boss.
If you haven't seen it, Cookie, I made a quote unquote drama video about Yi.
I saw
Yeah,
saw
it
you,
was,
you stacked it up with his video.
Yeah, it's not drama at all.
I'm gonna make why
It's-
boss colors sometimes exists.
It's not drama in the slightest.
I feel like our chat today has been quite a circle. We went from responsibility to then talking about our own life as a YouTuber. Man,
Yeah, yep.
it's
This
quite
is
a lot.
we went to a lot of personal and deep places comparatively to a lot of the other plans, but I think that like it was I think it was a good talk. It was an interesting talk. I'm gonna have to edit out a few things, a few moments where we were a little bit dumb, but I think that this talk was interesting to look back on not only our own lives as YouTubers, but as the differing views of the responsibilities that YouTubers have. And that was the closest thing to an actual coherent ending you're ever going to get to one of these. So, so there you go.
It works. So wait, we shouldn't drop this yet. Box 2, you're returning, right?
Yes, I'm returning, and I'm sorry.
All right.
Okay, so
You know,
so
this
this
is gonna be
podcast,
posted 2 weeks from now. So
yeah,
you
it will work, right?
Please don't. I hope it does. What the hell?
You're not gonna message us tomorrow and say,
No, no,
Oh,
no, no more, no more,
fuck.
no more, no more backstabs. No more backstabs.
Oh god, if
I
I wake up
swear.
tomorrow to a message it's like, hey guys, I'm actually leaving the Gacha Hell podcast, I would lose my mind laughing.
or Box, do you like overly big brain this and say you're gonna tell us that you quit after this podcast is posted?
Yeah. Oh god, that'd be the true meme. That'd be the deepest meme. The deep
You did it
fried
so
meme.
good that even Dio can't laugh anymore.
You have to delete your channel at that point. You have to delete your channel entirely.
Yes.
You did- I was scared.
The
I was so
true
scared that I
deep
would
fried
be
meme.
back. Holy shit.
You don't even delete your channel because you could properly recover it from YouTube. You should post like straight up like R18 shit. Get people
Get
to
banned.
report your
Yeah,
channel.
get
and
your
then
get your channel banned.
completely
Yeah.
banned.
Thank you. I'll take that idea.
Thank you. I will
What?
take this.
Next
one.
April Fools? Oh, that's
Next
your
April
idea.
Fools, boys. Next April. See you all next April Fool.
See you all next April Fools.
Okay, I'm gonna
All
cut the video.
right.